Hey guys, welcome to Venus Creates. I have a small canvas bag that I have been keeping my scraps in from when I do projects, and today I just want to make it a little cuter. I'm just going to put the word scraps on it in a pretty cursive font, so I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Just so you know in advance, my 6-month-old baby girl is hanging out in the background, so you may hear her playing every now and then, but that's just how being a mom goes. Alright, so as you can see, I've already chosen my font, and I've ungrouped it and placed it together. I will add the font below because at this very moment I can't remember. I always scroll through the fonts and choose a few, place them together, and see which one I like the most. And I didn't think you guys would care to watch me scrolling for 5 minutes trying to choose a font for this project, so I went ahead and did that. So I ungrouped it, placed it together the way I wanted it, and so I'm going to weld it together so that when it cuts out on my cricut-maker, it will cut all together. It looks good, super cute. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it in gold glitter HTV or a pink HTV that I have. The canvas bag is a tan color, so I figured the pink would probably pop more and look better, so I think I'm going to do that one. So once I choose my font, place it together, weld it together, and it looks ready to go, I need to choose the size that I need it to be. So at this point, I usually take my handy dandy ruler and measure out exactly how long and wide it needs to be. So I'm going to do that now, and I will include a clip of me doing that. Alright, so since I'm making something to put my scraps in, I decided, well, I should see if I have a piece of scrap that I can use for this project. Kind of ironic. So I did find one in the pink that I was talking about using, and with that I can actually make my project about 5.5 inches wide to about, let's see, probably about 5 inches long, which probably won't even need it to be that long because it's just a simple word going across. So alright, so let's do 5 wide and see how that looks. Let's see. Sometimes I will measure multiple times, especially on the canvas that I'm using, just to kind of see how well that size will look on it. But this is just my scrap bag. I'm not going to sell it or anything like that, so it's going to be for my own personal use, so it doesn't really matter how it looks, I guess. Alright, I'm just double checking my size. I have my little piece of scrap here. Alright, yeah, so I think, can't decide if I want to do 5 inches wide or 5.5 inches wide. Might do 5.5. Alright, so we're going to do 5.5, and that made it 3.735 inches long, which looks good to me. Looks plenty. Alrighty. Looks good to me. I'm going to save this because every now and then Design Space doesn't want to save, or it crashes randomly on its own right after I work so hard on a design. So I'm just going to try to save this. I'm just going to put it as scraps just in case for whatever reason. Alright, perfect. It's saved. That has happened way too many times where I work very hard on a design and all of a sudden Cricut Design Space crashes and all of my progress has been lost and I have to completely redo everything, which is not, not easy. Alright, so for some reason my desktop will not connect to my cricut-maker. I'm still trying to work that out, figure it out. It's really aggravating, so I actually have to use my laptop in order to actually cut my designs, which, is not fun having to use multiple electronics to get a project done, but we're trying to figure it out. So that is saved. That way I can bring it up on my laptop. I'm just going to show you when I click make it. That's how it's going to look. So my mat is 12 by 12. My material isn't, but I just always leave it at that. As long as you have it lined up and your sizing correct, then it really doesn't matter. So you're going to mirror it because it is heat transfer vinyl. So you have to mirror it and put the transfer tape side down when you are placing it on your mat. So this is what it's going to look like as I cut it out. I will take a video clip of it cutting out and the rest of the process of placing it on my canvas. Because I am recording on my desktop and it will not connect to my cricut-maker, I can't, continue recording my desktop as in what it looks like as it's cutting. So I pretty much just select everyday vinyl and it cuts it out perfectly. I use my fine point blade on just the, I don't remember what it's called, the regular, the default cutting pressure. And there we go. So let's get the rest of this project started. With some vinyls, it's very hard to tell which side is the transfer tape side, so I just like to double check. As you can see, my vinyl was not wanting to stick to my mat, so I need to clean it really quick. As you can see here, I just grabbed some alcohol-free baby wipes, which luckily I have plenty around the house, and I go from each square going in a circular motion to get up all of the glitter that was on my mat. If this is your first time using this method, your mat will not feel sticky until it completely dries, and it will be sticky again, just so you don't think that you ruined your mat. As you can see, the vinyl still did not want to stick to my mat. So either I really need a new mat or it's just the vinyl that's just not working with it. So I ended up having to use painter's tape to tape down the corners. When you do this, make sure that you do not put the painter's tape where your rollers on the very ends of your mat, like where it brings it into your Cricut machine. Make sure that the tape is not there because it will get caught up in your machine. I always use my ruler to double check that my design is in the center of my project.